Dear parents, I am Mavi Upadhyay, your awesome parenting coach, and you have been watching this video series on building blocks for awesome kids or how to give your best to kids. Then you are in the right frame, you're in the right video series, you are in the right YouTube channel. And if you are a parent and still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I speak a lot on topics related to parenting, on kids, which will help you to become an awesome parent. An awesome parent is one who is engaged with kids and also giving your best to your kids, best in terms of your skills or mindset or habits to your kids, so that when they move on in the world, in terms of when they grow, they are confident, they are bold, they are intelligent, they are someone who people look at in terms of what character they have built, right? So click on to my YouTube channel if you not subscribe, and let's begin. And I'm speaking on a topic which is close to my heart in terms of giving your best to kids. And we have been speaking on this in last 5 series. I spoke on various habits which actually you can inculcate in kids. Habit of journaling, for example, habit of writing gratitude, loving yourself, or having that interest in sports, music, or book reading. And the fourth we discussed was about actually playing sports to handle complex things in life, because sports can help you to get that reflex motion, manage team relationship in a team game like football, basketball, or cricket. And we spoke also on the unique design. What is your kid's unique design? They can be good in visual arts, mathematics, linguistic, intrapersonal, natural intelligence. There are 8 types of intelligence which are there in everyone, and you may not be aware your kids have maybe 2 or 3 of them, and you will not be aware of it because you are currently focused or thinking of how do I get my kids score better in maths or science, right? That may be the thought. So we discussed on all these things, and today I'm going to discuss on an important topic which is actually one of the pivotal things, important things on this building blocks or giving your best to kids. All of us have been actually thinking of the way automation is happening, digital is happening, technology is evolving, and there have been a lot of news of robotics taking over or artificial intelligence taking over, which will happen over a period of next 10 to 20 years. It is quite possible that humans may not drive an aeroplane, and it is a machine which will drive aeroplane. Like the way Google Maps were using earlier, nobody was using Google Maps, or it was like asking somebody, the rickshaw fellow, the taxi fellow, somebody on the street for an address. But now you look at the Google map and actually find out where you have to actually go and trace actually the direction to go, right? So it is all happening. Next 20 years, technology or robotics or AI will take on all those things which are repetitive, which are kind of happening quite frequently, right? But what is that which humans will be valued for? Humans will be valued for creativity, imagination. And that is where I want to talk on this topic in this particular YouTube series, in this particular video, on building that imagination and creativity in your kids, right? You cannot schedule imagination or creativity, but what you can do is you can nurture that environment. You can actually help building that environment. And there are a lot of things which you can do, and I'm going to touch few of them step by step, important ones. For example, let's take imagination. And a child is very imaginative when they are quite young, 1 year, 3 year, and they think of anything else, right? Why can't the elephant be pink, right? Why can't chocolates grow on trees? So many things they are imagining because there is no filter, there is no conditioning. But the moment we get into school and we get into the school system of subject, chapter, and exam and grades, then we are confined that this is what is to be studied, understood, learned, and reproduced, memorized. But important is we then actually stop decreasing, or somewhere that imagination evaporates, right? I would use the word evaporate. Somewhere it goes, because what used to think very different is not happening now. And I would love you to tell your kids on great imagination stories. And the one which I love is the way aeroplane was built by Wright brothers. You understand the 2 brothers, Wright brothers, in 1920s or 1910s, maybe just before the First World War, they built aeroplane, right? And they had no degree. They had no degree in aeronautics or understanding of aerodynamics or engineering of any discipline. They were actually two-wheeler or bicycle mechanics. Two-wheeler or bicycle mechanics. From there, they imagine that if birds can fly, why can't we make something which can fly? There has to be some principle which we can use, right? And that really fascinates me, that they thought of something imagined. They imagined, right? The other story which really fascinates me in terms of imagination, the way automobile was built. And earlier it was thought that what is stronger than a two horse cart? Earlier it was pulled by horses or donkeys or any other mules or yaks, correct? But most of the places it was pulled by horse. So the answer to this question, or what is more powerful than a two horse cart, is eight horse cart. That was how we used to think that what can be powerful. But humans imagined that can I build something, and automobile is second thing which really inspires me, that how man or humans have designed automobile which is the best of the class right now, from the electric one which is there currently. But look at the journey in last 100 years, it is mesmerizing. So give books, share videos on how aeroplane was designed, developed, invented, or how automobile was designed, developed, invented, or how internet came into picture, right? Or maybe how like a smartphone was invented. There are so many beautiful inventions. So maybe give books which are interesting in terms of inventions done by humans. Second is, when you look at what, for example, machines are being built, the other thing which you can definitely look at it is how nature is, how birds are, how hummingbird flies, how the bumblebee flies. And all nature, which is plant life, animal life, is full of imagination. Nature is full of imagination. How rainbow is formed, right? How frogs live, how whales live. All of this, through a book or a series on television or any videos, you can actually make them imagine. And this is where it will spark that, okay, this is something which really sparks me from a plant life or a nature life or the human inventions. And that is how you can start building imagination. It cannot happen overnight. Creativity, imagination cannot happen overnight. It cannot be scheduled that, okay, 4 o'clock I'll be imaginative today afternoon, or every Wednesday 3 o'clock I'll be imaginative, I'll be creative. It cannot happen. It takes its own time. But you have to give environment, show these things, and they will be on this path of imagination, right? And creativity is doing something which never somebody has thought, something out of the box, a new design, a new process, a new something which is actually trying to solve a particular problem or trying to do something better. And creativity is very important, because that's what humans will be valued going forward, for their imagination, for their creativity. And how you can do creativity? Few important steps. One, expose them to something different. For example, music. How many of you as parents are actually listening to music on a daily basis or even weekly basis, or exposing your kids for some weekly music at home? Or currently when it's lockdown time, but after lockdown, how many of you are going to take your kids or entire family for some music festival? It can be instrumental, it can be rock, it can be any orchestra. Music is something which will build their creativity, right? Second is, don't try to actually be very strict in terms of your expectation of kids management of room. They'll have the colored sketch pen, pencil all littered on the ground. It's absolutely okay sometimes, because in those art forms, in those designs, in those litter, they will find their own space to be creative. They'll find their own space to be creative. So give that space in terms of colored sketch pen, all those environment where they can do something. Third, make them read some books again. Their books can again spark imagination on various fields. It can be, for example, book on a Harry Potter, for example, or book on maybe any other thing of their interest. But books is something which will make them creative. Other is, currently, even if it's lockdown, but after lockdown, definitely maybe a short trip somewhere, a weekend trip, a day trip, or a nearby visit is something where they will start observing things. They'll think that, okay, this is how it is done. Can I do it differently? And this is where you will see that the creative spark in them will be getting better. Show them outstanding autobiographies or movies which are based on creativity, how it was done. And one of the creative, I would say, examples of our times is Steve Jobs, who designed Apple or who founded Apple and had fantastic products like iPhone. It's a beautiful creative design. So expose them. Again, nature is a good example in terms of being creative, but give that space. Let them litter, let them explore, take them on trip, give that environment. Don't micromanage them, and slowly they will get into that creative field. It cannot happen that they will be creative in 4th standard or creative in 7th standard. Time will come, and that is someday they will realize that, you will realize that my kid has this kind of absolutely great talent of being imaginative, of being creativity. And in this, don't be too much instructive with your kids, because the moment they will feel that, they are going to absolutely feel that, okay, let me not do this because my mom will scold, my dad will scold on this, right? So these are my brief points on building blocks for imagination and creativity. I hope you like this YouTube video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to talk on the last building block, or the second last building block. But important is, I hope you're taking notes, finding some insights that creativity and imagination is what we will be valued going forward. See you. Bye-bye.